YouTube, today we're trying out a brand new team featuring the top placing Xerneas team from the VR circuit. This was the only Xerneas team to cut a 500 plus player event with Terrain Pool Xerneas and Physical Regieleki. I'm very excited to use this team as I do love Xerneas. It's really hard to use though with all the Zacian teams, so we'll see if it's able to perform well. But if you do enjoy the videos, be sure to leave a like down below, leave a comment down below. It really does help me out. And if you want to check out the details of the team down below, I'll link the paste spin available in the description. But otherwise, let's get started and play some games. Okay, we have Thunderous, Zacian, Incineroar, Grimmsnarl, Rillaboom, and Palkia. So this is pretty high up on the ladder. Palkia, we have Xerneas, so we're not really scared of Palkia. We are a little bit scared of the Zacian though, and potentially the Thunderous. I don't know what kind of Thunderous set it will be. It'll probably be defined, I'd imagine, on this team. Those have to be considered. I kind of actually want to open up Instant Amoonguss. I feel like Instant Amoonguss is just really solid here, because I think I could set up for like a Xerneas getting a Geomancy off potentially, and that seems really good. Now the question is, A, what item is that Thunderous, I would imagine, and B, what the Zacian set is a substitute. So those are going to be really big questions here. And yeah, otherwise I think I do have some pretty powerful Pokemon here. Don't really know if I really like Rillaboom. And Fake Out's nice, but doesn't really help too much. Eleki, its damage output is pretty impressive, but I mean, it only helps with like chip damage onto their Zacian. So I think Amoonguss Instant is probably one of my best leads here. It's also a lead I'm generally comfortable with as I have a lot of experience with it. And then Xerneas and Calyrex in the back, I want to say. Let's see how this is going to go, as this can definitely go either way here, because there's Zacian. Of course, one of the things about running Xerneas is Zacian is pretty much everywhere. It is one of the biggest threats to Xerneas and makes it really hard to use. So let's see if we can actually position our Xerneas into a favorable position, or will we get overwhelmed by this team? Especially since they have screens, they can usually survive the attacks well. Oh wait, I just realized they have to fight Thunderous. Why did I lead Instant? That's not exactly the best moment. Oh geez, okay. Not great at all. Okay. So my Instant's faster than their Instant. So unless it's Lumberry Thunderous, I think I'm fine though, because I have Cobra Berry on my Amoonguss. So I'll live one. I'll go for the Spore into their Thunderous and Fake Out. That was such a silly mistake. Jeez, that is such a silly mistake. We should be fine though. We should be fine. Unless the Thunderous is Lumberry, which I don't know. This team, it could be Assault Vest, it could be Lumberry. There are quite a few options here. If it is Lumberry though, we'll have some difficulties. Otherwise, we should be okay for the most part, assuming our Incineroar is faster than their Incineroar, and it looks like it based off the abilities. So hopefully we are able to get a Spore off. So we are going to see the Thunderous Dynamax here. Yeah, I just completely forgot about this. I don't know. What would I lead otherwise though? I guess I could... Xerneas Amoonguss doesn't seem good here into the lead. I guess Calyrex? I guess it'd have to be Calyrex lead. And I guess I could trade like Calyrex doing damage here, or like a Thunderous chip. I think that would have been okay, but let's see. I don't think it would have been like good leads in general. Fake Out into Instant though, as they did, I think, try to fake out me. They're gonna go for a Max Lightning. Okay, so that doesn't work unless they just want to prevent like spores in a Zacian later on. I mean, I get a Spore off into their Thunderous slot, unless it's Lumberry, because the Thunderous is flying type, so it's not immune to this. Are you Lumberry? Are you Lumberry? You're not Lumberry. Okay, that's huge actually. Okay, really, really nice here. I can go for a Protect here, I want to say, with Amoonguss. No, I don't want to go for Protect with Amoonguss, do I? I don't know if they Flare Blitz here immediately. I think I go hard into Xerneas here, and I think I go for a Parting Shot into their Incineroar slot. I think I go for the Regenerate health, because A, you're either going to Flare Blitz the Xerneas slot, which is -1 Flare Blitz. It's not that much damage, or they're going to go for a Parting Shot into the Incineroar slot. Those are like the two plays I imagine are coming out here. So Thunderous is going to stay asleep. Perfect. It does take its first turn of guaranteed sleep. We get a Parting Shot off into their Incineroar. So this is now -2 Incineroar, so it won't be doing much if it stays in. If it has Snarl, that's a little bit frustrating, but otherwise I should be good here. And we can go Amoonguss very safely. So hard into Amoonguss, and let's see what they decide to go for. Let's see. Gonna be the Flare Blitz. Okay, that's kind of ideal, I think, because like the Xerneas will survive this. Yeah, we take it very comfortably. And yeah, we can go for the Geomancy here in the Rage Powder. And if the Thunder stays asleep, that's fantastic. They even gave me the Electric Terrain, so I have a way to hit the Zacian. I wonder if I can actually get... Does it knock out the Zacian though? I don't know. I don't think it does, but we'll find out, I suppose. Rage Powder from the Amoonguss is always the play here in case Thundurus wakes up. As nice. That's a huge sleep. It means I don't have to take extra damage. And I guess the lead did work out. I guess it just lucked out having a faster Incineroar though. So Geomancy is going to come out. Let's see what this Incineroar is though. What item is your Incineroar? Because are you potentially something like a safety goggles, which is pretty common on Incineroar, I think, right now of the days because of the Venusaur factors, or are you like a different item? So you're going to go for Parting Shot into Amoonguss. Okay, so I assumed I was going to be into Xerneas. So I'm assuming right here that means you are not safety goggles. So you're probably like a berry confirmed. Okay. So, oh, yeah, it has to be berry. No assault vest. Maybe it could be Shucka, but I mean, it wouldn't really come into play here. Thundurus comes in. Okay, nice. I don't think they want to switch on Gleam in general. I'm going to test the Terrain Pulse. I want to have fun with Terrain Pulse. I want to see this Terrain Pulse damage. I have Terrain Pulse Xerneas. When have you ever seen a Terrain Pulse Xerneas? Okay, Terrain Pulse, Rage Powder. Very simple. That is the play here. We probably go down the Behemoth Blade with the Amoonguss, but that's okay. I think we do get a Rage Powder off into the slot, and I just want a Terrain Pulse here as I want to see how much damage it does. So a Terrain Pulse into the Zacian. I love the Terrain Pulse animation. Pretty good damage. It puts in Dazzling Gleam range. Behemoth Blade, okay. So Behemoth Blade into the Amoonguss, completely okay. As we even survived the Behemoth Blade, this Amoonguss very tanky, and Thundurus 3 turns of sleep. Lucky sleep here. I think that's game here. I can go for Dazzling Gleam and Rage Powder. If they woke up with the Thundurus, it didn't matter what they did there. If they KO'd the Amoonguss, I got a free switch to Calyx, and I think I just clicked Gleam and Astral Barrage to win the game, realistically. I also saw Dynamax available, so I could Dynamax Xerneas in just one right there. So yeah, we just Rage Powder Dazzling Gleam. It's looking really bad as the battle is going to be forfeit. Terrain Pulse Xerneas. I think Terrain Pulse is actually probably huge. I don't remember how much +2 Moonblast does, but that Zacian definitely looks to be more of the bulkier side. I don't remember this is Tuesday's team exactly, the one that won the VR winning team, because I don't think there was a Rillaboom if I'm not mistaken, but I could obviously be wrong. But yeah, I wasn't sure what the item on the Thundurus was. I was thinking probably was going to be Assault Vest. I think Assault Vest is pretty common, but Lumberry has been, you know, picking up popularity as well. And yeah, it just ended up working out because I was able to get a big fake out into the Incineroar outspeed, get a Spore off, get a bit lucky with the sleep turns. I think only 2 was necessary. The third one didn't really matter. And yeah, then I was able to get huge damage off in the Zacian with Terrain Pulse, and then Dazzling Gleam would have done so much damage to their team, would have been 2-shot on every single member, and would have KO'd the Zacian at that point. And I also, I wonder if I Dynamax, did I KO the Thundurus because of Max Lightning, or the Zacian with Max Lightning? I don't think I would have. I think I would have been just a bit off, but that extra damage could really matter. It doesn't mean I have to keep Moonblasting the Zacian slot every single time, which is a pretty lifesaver, I think. If you currently enjoyed the content you're watching and want to see more of it, make sure you check out my other YouTube channels, my second YouTube channel, my Eclipse channel, and of course, make sure you follow the action live on my Twitch channel. All links available in the description down below. All right, we have Palkia Kyogre, Rain, Grimmsnarl, Rillaboom, the Urshifu, and the Incineroar. So I wonder if this is Calm Mind Kyogre, because Calm Mind Kyogre would be pretty strong here on this team, I think, because of the screens with Grimmsnarl, but I don't know, it might be Assault Vest as well. That Assault Vest is always a big threat, but we do have a huge Max Lightning Eliki right here, and we have Xerneas, which is pretty strong against their team in general. So we have some pretty strong options. I wonder which Urshifu it's going to be, whether it's going to be the water or dark one. I'd say the dark one is more likely here because triple water types. I don't know if that's like an option here, but yeah, I think Amoonguss is just really solid here. I think Amoonguss lead is pretty good. I think Calyx is probably fine. I know Incineroar is kind of strange. I would like to bring Incineroar, and even Rillaboom is pretty solid here. It's just weird. I have like so many good mons for in general against their team, as maybe no Calyx. I mean, Calyx I guess it could be triple dark or it could be triple water actually. Yeah, Calyx doesn't seem that great here. I'd rather have like Amoonguss, I think, with Xerneas. I think Xerneas is just really good against their team, and then maybe Rillaboom and Eliki in the back. What am I playing? Is this supposed to be... This feels like it's Series 10. Like what I'm bringing feels like Series 10. Because that's what you would bring in Series 10 if you ran Xerneas, so... We'll see. I plan on Dynamaxing probably the Eliki in this matchup. I just have to watch out for like taking too much damage on Xerneas to be put in Grassy Glide range if they bring the Grassy Glide pressure. But let's see. It's going to be Rillaboom Kyogre lead. Okay. So that works out for me just fine. Amoonguss Xerneas is a pretty good lead here. I don't know who they're going to fake out here. Drizzle goes off before the grassy terrain, but I have no way to confirm whether the Kyogre set is. I think I always just switch out here. At least I know the Xerneas is faster than the Rillaboom. So... This Xerneas is not max speed, so I can't confirm the item on the Kyogre, whether it's Choice Scarf or not. So I think I just go for a Spore here. No, I don't Spore here, right? I think I just protect Amoonguss, and I think I just hard in a Rillaboom. Yeah, I go hard in a Rillaboom here. Because, I mean, this is probably Water Spout and Fake Out. I can't really see any other play here from my opponent. I think it's always Fake Out Amoonguss and go for a Water Spout here. So... Might as well just not take the damage that I don't have to. I will protect Amoonguss. We're going to see a Fake Out come out into the Amoonguss slot. And we're going to see a Water Spout come out. So hopefully this doesn't do too much to Rillaboom. I'm thinking that's going to be the case here. And then next turn, I guess I could go for a Spore into that slot as well as a Grassy Glide. So this seems pretty okay here position-wise. But do I have to target the Kyogre slot with Grassy Glide? I don't think I do actually. You know what? I'll Spore the Kyogre and I'll U-turn. Like, Kyogre's not going to stay in against two grass types, right? When Hailstorm doesn't even knock out either one of them. You know what? I'm going to U-turn out here into Rillaboom. I'm going to play a little bit aggressive here because I need damage on Rillaboom anyway. That's like pretty important. So we're going to see the Incineroar come in. I get to find out if Goggles, which is pretty important as well. So I'll take this for information and I'll get a decent position to maybe bring in my Xerneas. Or my Eliki. I can max Lightning and that'd be pretty good against their team. They go for Grassy Glide. I guess because they want chip on Rillaboom. That does a lot actually. Okay, you turn into their Rillaboom. That's a pretty solid amount. I wonder what's coming out the next turn. I kind of want to go Xerneas actually. I kind of want to go Xerneas because the Eliki has no way to really touch the Rillaboom. I mean, I could set up terrain if I want to, but I'll save, I think, Eliki for the end game. I'm going to go out into Xerneas here, and I think I'm going to Pollen Puff my Xerneas slot because, I don't know, that Grassy Glide did a lot. Spore comes out, and it's not Goggles Instant. Okay, that's pretty important to know. Okay. So I kind of just want to get some chip now, I think, onto their Pokemon. Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't bring Incineroar with no Intimidate, but I could probably get... I think I always Pollen Puff my Xerneas here. I could Pollen Puff Protect. That also works. That also works. I'm just trying to figure out. Yeah, Pollen Puff Protect is... Pollen Puff the Rillaboom and Protect is fine here. Let's see if they swap out Rillaboom. I don't think they should, but it could be an option. But okay, they same with both, which is really good. Okay, so I get a Protect off with Xerneas. We're going to see a Wood Hammer. Okay, so it's not Choice Banded. That's really good to know. And Pollen Puff is going to do a decent amount to their Rillaboom. Looks really offensive. Probably Miracle Seed, so... Here goes a Pollen Puff and hopefully puts it in Gleam range. Yeah, excellent. That's exactly what I wanted. Oh, crit. Okay. That might matter. It might have mattered. That Gleam would have been close, I think, to KOing. But yeah, now we can Pollen Puff our Xerneas, and I think we go for Dazzling Gleam here. I could Geomancy right away, but I just feel like there's no really point of Geomancing in this position. They don't go for Grassy Glide. Interesting. Okay. Maybe they're just like always worried that I get a what's it called, Geomancy up, and they just want a Wood Hammer, and if not, they'll be fine trading. But yeah, that works out beautifully for me. I keep the Incineroar asleep. The Xerneas is now in a very favorable position, as yeah, this is looking really solid right here. I guess if the Incineroar is Taunt, that could be a little bit difficult, but Kyogre is going to come in. I go for Spore Protect here always. Actually, isn't this the last turn of Rain? It is, yeah. So this is looking really good for me. So we'll Spore here. We'll Protect here. I don't think they can knock out Amoonguss in this position. They have to have Taunt in order to have a chance. I think Incineroar is guaranteed to wake up if I'm not mistaken. Or maybe that was his second turn of sleep. I might have miscounted. But Let's go for the Spore here and a Kyogre. They are going to max here, so I wonder if it's Hailstorm coming out. If it's Hailstorm, I think that's okay, right? Because I probably can Geomancy up the next turn. But we are going to see a max from the Kyogre. Okay. I mean, I'm not Rage Powdering this position, so I guess you can afford to max Geyser to Xerneas if you want to. I'm think. Oh, wait. Hailstorm Flare Blitz will knock out Amoonguss, though. I guess that's their goal. I mean, I'm okay with that, right? I bring in Eliki next turn. Yeah, I'd probably be okay with that. Oh, very nice play on their part. They go for the Lightning. All right. That's another option. So they prevent my Spore. But I think that's okay. Can I Rage Powder the next turn? Oh, if you taunt here, that's bad. They wake up. They Parting Shot. Okay. I mean, I guess. The problem with their play is... I could theoretically just switch out the Xerneas into Rillaboom. Although, I guess if they double up the... Oh, aren't you going to Geyser here? I mean, it doesn't matter. I just Rage Powder Geo, right? There are like a few plays I could do, right? I could Rage Powder Geo, which seems like the safest play. I could go into Rillaboom and greet it if I want to, as that could potentially work. But I just don't see anything wrong with Geomancy here. Geomancy just puts me in such a strong position, because I don't see how they're countering the Xerneas when it's boosted and they don't get damage off. Oh, they did have Hailstorm. Oh, so it probably is Assault Vest. Then I do confirm. Okay. Knocks out Amoonguss. Okay. That's actually pretty big. A crit. Might have mattered, actually, but I don't mind it, really. So, because I guess it's a revenge crit for the Rillaboom. Okay. It just means Xerneas might take damage. As long as it's not Roar, Parting Shot's okay. Just not Roar, and we're good. So we'll Dynamax, or we'll Geomancy here with our Xerneas. I could Dynamax the Xerneas if I want to, but I think I'm going to Dynamax the Eliki always. Like, I just don't see why I wouldn't go for the Eliki Dynamax, I'd say. I could go for Max Lightning, Terrain Pulse into Kyogre, and that would do a ton of damage. Parting Shot going to come out, so... Did you bring Palkia as the last Pokemon? I guess that's the big question, right? Because Palkia is not in a favorable one here. Although I don't know if +2 Dazzling Gleam will knock out the Palkia. It depends on its spread heavily. They are forced to bring in their Pokemon though, so I can decide my next move after. It is going to be the Palkia. Okay. I think I just go Eliki here in Dazzling Gleam. Like, I take advantage of Max Lightning really well here. Yeah, I just don't see why I wouldn't go for the Eliki. They gave me the Electric Terrain. I might as well just like take advantage of it and Dynamax the Eliki and go for the Dazzling Gleam. The Hail Chip on Palkia is actually kind of nice because it might be the difference here between Dazzling Gleam picking up the knockout or not. So we are going for the Max Lightning based off Wild Charge here. It's a physical Max Lightning, so it's going to override and it's going to bypass an Assault Vest. So I don't know if they know the team or not. I'm just going to Dazzling Gleam here because it KOs the Palkia slot, covers a bunch, and Kyogre shouldn't be able to knock out the Xerneas, especially with no Rain Up. Unless they crit, of course. And I don't even know if they can knock out Eliki. Because if it's Assault Vest, I'm assuming it's no... Because you want to assume, I think, Assault Vest. Because it was... We revealed Water Spout turn 1. We saw Ice Beam Thunder. You want to say it's not solo Water Spout. And the only set that really runs that is going to be that Assault Vest set. Or maybe like a choice set as well. But choice items are negated by the Dynamax. So that wouldn't change anything here. So... No switch to Instant is actually beautiful. This physical Eliki will just pick up a knockout right here. They might max guard, and I guess if the Palkia can live a Xerneas attack, maybe that's their out. But I don't know what they could go for. I guess Trick Room would be the only option, but that's very specific here. So no protects. Okay, Max Lightning. This might actually just knock out the Kyogre. Yeah, it does just knock out the Kyogre because we are the physical Wild Charge Eliki. We are able to eliminate the Kyogre, which is really good here. And now it's a single target Dazzling Gleam into Palkia. That's going to finish off the Palkia very easily. And then last Pokemon, Incineroar. What's an Incineroar here? Because I still have a Dynamax. I still have the Xerneas. And I guess I still have a Rillaboom. Actually, my Rillaboom has high horsepower on this team, so that actually is kind of a threat to them. Yeah, this game is looking over, especially with Incineroar taking chip. Yeah. Okay, set up the Xerneas really well. It's actually funny that Xerneas actually had a good matchup against my opponent's team, but yeah, it actually did. It was able to set up the Geomancy, and then they couldn't really, like, pressure it. The pressure that they had was... I don't know if they even had really pressure. I guess it was Rillaboom, and they let Rillaboom go down super early. And that's the thing, Xerneas is like it's a Pokemon that's hard to use in this format, but if you face one and you don't have a Zacian, and even if you have a Zacian, you still got respected because the Geomancy can definitely be set up if in the right position and just take KOs, especially if your team was weakened early on. I really like late game Xerneas Geomancy. I think it's really effective, and even like early game Xerneas just for chip for the second restricted to do work is really solid as well. There's like multiple ways to play with Xerneas, and I think that one I was more aiming for a late game Xerneas, and I was able to accomplish that. And Eliki was able to clean up with these Xerneas just chipping. Well, I guess it was kind of both because they got in the same time, and then I was just really able to go in against my post team because the Rillaboom was gone, which is what I want to aim for originally. Kind of tough. There's a Kartana, which isn't exactly that good for my team actually. There's a Thundurus plus the Zacian, Seismitoad, Kyogre, Kartana, and the Grimmsnarl. So this is pretty scary. They have some options that look tough. Okay, so I would say that's not Defiant Thundurus, right? Because I don't think Defiant Thundurus makes sense on this team. Because you have Seismitoad, which wants to Dynamax. It's probably Life Orb Seismitoad. They're usually always Life Orb Seismitoad. And then Kartana is a Pokemon that usually wants to Dynamax. So I don't think you want to have 3 Dynamax Mons here. So I don't think Thundurus should be a Dynamax Mon. So it's probably like if it's Eerie Impulse, Scary Face, that's actually a little bit difficult to handle. Okay. So I will have to be wary of that. I think my best options are probably Eliki, Calyrex, Xerneas. Do I even bring Xerneas? Because I feel like Xerneas is not it in this game. If I can Geomancy, yeah, but I feel like I need Incin for Kartana as a backup and Zacian, and then I think I need Rillaboom for the water types. I think I have to, right? I don't think Xerneas can do anything, unfortunately, against this team, and there are some matchups that Xerneas doesn't like, and I don't think this is one of them. Sure, it can hit stuff with like Terrain Pulse, but I mean, Rillaboom, Grassy Glide pretty much accomplishes the same thing, right? And the Kartana is super scary, so I gotta make sure I respect it and bring backup for it. So let's see what they're gonna lead here, because it's gonna be pretty important. It's Thundurus Kyogre. Okay. A little bit difficult here. A little bit difficult. I don't... If this is Defiant Thundurus, I'm going to be sad because I really don't think it should be Defiant Thundurus on this team. If it's Defiant Thundurus, I would just pick up knockouts right here. Like, I would just go for the attacks. Because Max Lightning into Astral Barrage would pick up a knockout into one of them and heavily damage the other. I think it could be Scary Face here. I want to scout for the Scary Face. I have to save this Pokemon. I go Rillaboom here and I think Protect turn 1. I want to see what they're going to decide to do. Because if it's Eerie Impulse Thundurus, it's free because I can Max Lightning the Thundurus easily. But otherwise, I should be okay here. Bring in the Rillaboom. And what are you going to do with the Kyogre? Probably just Water Spout, which is okay here. Yeah, they didn't Dynamax, so this has to be Eerie Impulse, I think, with Rain Dance, which makes sense. Their team is kind of relying on that. Eerie Impulse, the Calyrex, that's okay. Okay. So I don't mind this. As we're going to see the Origin Pulse. Okay, that is completely acceptable. That's completely acceptable. Rillaboom doesn't take much damage, which is nice. They don't get to find out my item. I go for Electro Web here, I think. And I'm going to go for a Fake Out into their Thundurus just for chip. I don't think Kyogre should stay in. Yeah, they always switch out. I don't know what's coming in though. Probably Zacian? No, Kartana. Okay, that's cool. Don't mind that. Gonna go... Oh, I did give them Grassy Terrain. Oh, wait, no. I could always cancel out the Grassy Terrain if I want to. Okay, so I get a Fake Out into Kartana. Or Fake Out into Thundurus. I get an Electro Web off, which is huge. Because I get a bit of chip into Kartana, and I get some good damage into the Thundurus. Nice. Okay. So I imagine last Pokemon has to be Zacian then. Oh, Eliki looks like in a really good offensive position then. I just wish we had Airstream. Sometimes I just wish we had Airstream on this Eliki, as it would be really good here. I do get the point of like the Assurance Max Darkness though, and this helps against other Calyrex matchups. But yeah, we're gonna Max Lightning the Thundurus Slime. We're gonna go Harden and Incineroar. We're gonna change the terrain, get the Intimidate off, and yeah, I don't know if they're gonna Airstream here. If they Airstream, that's okay, because Eliki still outspeeds Kartana regardless, so that's okay here. We're just gonna Max Lightning KO the Thundurus, and yeah, we're gonna reveal that we're physical, which is okay here. I guess if they have Seismitoad back, it's a bit awkward, but like, are you really Seismitoad back when you have a Zacian and I have a Xerneas? I don't think so. So we do get Intimidated off into Kartana. Looks like I think my Pokemon choices were correct though. I think Xerneas would have definitely hurt me here. as it would have definitely been more of a liability. So we will Dynamax our Eliki, hopefully in a really strong position here to pick up the KO onto that Thunderous and change his terrain and then get a really powerful max move off the next turn. That's the ideal situation here. And this also prevents the Kartana from getting a beast boost, which is super solid. Max, oh no, max the Kartana, interesting. Okay, goodbye Thunderous. So what are they saving their max for? Is it actually Seismitoad in the back? I don't know, Seismitoad in back. I have Grassy Glide, so all I have to do is get rid of the Kartana then. Let's see. Gonna be Leaf Blade, okay. I thought that was a crit. Okay, no crit. That's really good. Okay, really strong position here. My Eliki, does it knock out Zacian? That'd be really nice if it knocked out Zacian. I doubt it, but if it did, oh, we would be in such a good position. The Eliki's also still at -1 speed, which is actually really important coming up. Zacian comes out. Oh, I think I have some plays here. Okay, hold on. I definitely have some really strong plays here. Okay. So I'm going to go for a max... I think max darkness here. Yeah, I'm going to max darkness here to Zacian actually. And go hard. Oh, no. I just max lightning. I think max lightning is fine here. Swap to Calyrex. Because if they're going to target the instant, it's either Airstream, which shouldn't do that much damage with a -1, or a fighting type move. I guess I could play rough here, but I guess that's okay. I think I could play around that. They have to Dynamax Kartana though, right? Are they Dynamaxing the Kyogre in the late game? I don't know. They're refusing to Dynamax, so I do get max lightning off in his Zacian, which is really nice. I just KO. Holy cow, that's broken. This is broken. Eliki, if it was special, I like, oh, that probably KOs. Yeah, and a Sacred Sword here. That's not exactly... Yeah, I think this game's over. The physical Eliki's insane. Holy cow. Physical Eliki's insane. Kyogre comes out, and we can go for a max lightning into the Kyogre. Actually, no, we never even have to. We go for the max darkness here. Yeah, we go for max darkness into... Which slot are we going for the max darkness? I want to go for the Kyogre slot. Yeah, I'm going to go for the Kyogre slot, and I'm going to click Astral Barrage, I think. I want to KO the Kartana right here. And we're going to see a max here. Is this max guard Kyogre? Oh, maybe it is. But like Kartana, I don't know if it lives Choice Specs Astral Barrage here. Although they don't know I'm Choice Specs, so they might be just praying that they survive here. Did they pick up a knockout here? I don't think they do. Maybe if they have a dark move like a Night Slash, I'd say. But let's see. A max guard here. Makes sense. Okay. So I guess they're hoping for the crit in the Eliki. Even if they get a crit, I think I'm okay. Because I still have Rillaboom in the back pretty comfortable. So Astral Barrage, Choice Specs. Does knock out the Kartana, yeah. And then we have Electric Terrain, and we can go for a Wild Charge. We also have a +1 Calyrex. We have Rillaboom in the back. I mean, Rain stops too, which might matter for Calyrex damage calcs. Also, we confirmed that they are max guard on Kyogre, so it wasn't a Assault Vest on their Kyogre set. Okay. Yeah, this is a free max lightning into the Kyogre, or not max lightning, Wild Charge into Kyogre. And we go for the Astral Barrage. And I want to see Eliki just knock out the Kyogre. Oh, I want to see if it actually picked up the knockout, because it is physical, so I would imagine it probably does. Depending on the Kyogre set, of course. But yeah, Eliki was able to go in. Really not much to say. I think I recognize that Xerneas didn't accomplish much, where I was able to bring the right Pokemon. Instant was really useful. Very surprised they saved their Dynamax that late in the game, because I felt like they just had no momentum. Like Kyogre Dynamax in the late game did not seem to help, so I wonder what their plan was for the max, because it just seemed like they were like slowly, well, not slowly, they were fastly losing resources, and I think that was like a pretty big downfall right there. So yeah, just able to really power through. I think physical Eliki really showcasing its strengths right there. It was able to really just demolish my opponent's team, like picking up KOs on the Thunder. I would have picked up the KO on Kyogre, but one shine to Zacian too. Although I special Eliki would still be able to pick up the knockout. That's still pretty insane though, how powerful Eliki is and how fast it is as well. And that is the show. Terrain Pulse Xerneas. It was interesting for sure. There was the chances with the grassy terrain from Rillaboom, and usually we Dynamax the Eleki on this team, and terrain pulse under the electric terrain would do quite a bit to Zacian to put usually in the Dazzling Gleam range, which we saw. And yeah, that could be a pretty big thing, but otherwise not sure like if we really need the grass coverage or the electric coverage for most of the time, as Eleki is usually able to nuke some Pokemon as well, and Moonblast would just like really hurt, I think. But yeah, it was really interesting to test out. This team was really cool. If you want to check out the details of the team, check them out with the placement available in the description down below. But otherwise, while you're down there, if you did enjoy the video, be sure to leave a like down below, leave a comment down below. It really does help me out. And make sure you check out the rest of my Series 12 content. I feature a lot of cool teams, and I'll be using some of my original teams coming up soon. But otherwise, thank you all for tuning in. Have a great day, people. And until we bow again, I'll catch y'all later.